And you can see on your screen a pretty incredible view. This is Dragon looking at the International Space Station, which is where it will be docked for about the next 6 months. So very exciting. You could tell that we're getting closer and closer as the view there is very visible from the Dragon spacecraft.
That's right, and the International Space Station is currently flying 268 statute miles over the South Pacific Ocean. But yeah, we'll continue to see the International Space Station come into better and better view. You can see some of the solar arrays and some of the modules, but again, I'm looking forward to seeing it come into more detail and us sharing a bit more about what you're seeing on your screen. And you can see if you squint between the clouds there, that little white dot, that is Dragon with Crew-8 on board. We'll, again, continue to see this grow larger, but great to see those very first views of Crew-8 and Endeavour. Oh, and there's an even better view. You can see the nose cone is open there. That nose cone did open shortly after launch, and it stays open all the way through docking. It exposes that guidance, navigation, and control systems, and that's actually where the crew will enter into the International Space Station once we get docked and have the vestibule repressurized and all those checkouts go smoothly.
And it looks like we got both of those views now looking side by side next to each other. Again, on your left-hand screen, a view from the International Space Station looking at Dragon Endeavour, while the right-hand view is a view from Dragon Endeavour looking at the International Space Station. And this is actually a very great view to kind of describe where Dragon is relative to the International Space Station. You can see Earth in the background, so you can see that Dragon is below the space station. Once it reaches waypoint 0, it'll be 400 meters below the space station, but moving into waypoint 1, it will actually be swinging up and in front of the space station. So you won't be able to see Earth behind it anymore because it'll be in front of the space station.
Dragon SpaceX on the big loop. Approach 0 is in progress and trajectory has converged on waypoint 0. Arrival at waypoint 0 at approximately 1711. And with that, you are good to proceed into 4.011 for leak checks.
Dragon copies, stepping into 4.011, see leak check.
And good calls there. They have confirmed that we have made it to waypoint 0 and that the crew is good to perform their suit leak checks inside of the cabin there.
So as we begin to move closer to waypoint 1, which is our next milestone, a couple of things are going to happen. The sensors on Dragon are going to work to basically get a lock on the docking port that it's targeting. And once they do eventually dock, that soft capture ring will automatically capture the docking port, and then we will work to close those latches.
Dragon on the big group, ready to pressurize.
Dragon SpaceX, you are go to initiate suit leak checks.
Copy to go.
And there you heard some comms that they are beginning their suit leak checks. Again, they do put their suits on during the dynamic events of docking, so they are doing some suit leak checks to make sure everything is working properly with their suits before they dock to the International Space Station.
Dragon SpaceX on the big loop. Approach 1 and soft capture ring extension will begin shortly. Dragon will continue approach to waypoint 2.
Dragon copies on the big loop.
And as we continue to make our approach from waypoint 1 to waypoint 2 and make our final approach, a couple of things will happen that you might hear over. Oh, and here we are getting our very first views inside of the Dragon Endeavour. The crew there is suited up, as you can see. They're just continuing to monitor the screens on board Dragon. This is an automated process, but the crew can take over if needed up to a point right before docking called CHOP. You'll hear that called out, and that's the crew hands-off period. And from that point on, it is a fully automated docking.
And it may be hard to tell what's on your screen, but right now this is a view from Dragon looking at the space station as it is making its way to waypoint 2. Again, that will align Dragon with the docking adapter on the space station. And
it looks like we are getting a space selfie. You got to capture the moment.
That is
wow,
excellent.
how special.
Houston and Hawthorne have pulled go for docking. Confirm you are ready for approach 2. We are sending the approach allowed flag now.
We see the approach allowed flag to true, and we're closing visors.
Copy, visors closed, and one additional reminder, once Dragon is inside the crew hands-off points, retreat and breakout are not permitted.
Copy, 4 visors closed.
And we just heard confirmation that both the NASA and SpaceX teams have pulled go for docking, and the crew aboard
Station
the
Houston on the
Dragon
big
Endeavour
loop.
spacecraft.
Dragon is on final approach and is go for docking. Monitor for steps 5 and 6 in 1.102. Dragon approach and retreat monitoring.
Station copies monitoring for steps 5 and 6 of Dragon approach and retreat monitoring.
Meters.
Copy, 15 meters.
So you did hear that call out that Dragon is now less than 15 meters away from the International Space Station, continuing to close in slowly. We'll hear that call out for CHOP, crew hands off point 2 meters before contact. Now approaching 10 meters away from the International Space Station.
Meters.
Copy, 5 meters.
Should hear the call out for CHOP shortly.
Meters.
Copy, 2 meters and hands off.
And there was that call. Standing by for contact and capture.
1 meter.
Copy, 1 meter. Soft capture confirmed.
And contact confirm. Dragon made contact with the International Space Station at 11:28 p.m. Pacific while flying central over the North Atlantic Ocean just east of Newfoundland.
And there are still a few steps to complete before Dragon is securely attached to the station. Again, we do have soft capture, but then we will retract that soft capture ring. Then we can start driving in the hard capture hooks. Again, there will be 2 sets of 6 hooks each. Once those hooks...
Ring retraction in progress.
There's that call out that the soft capture ring is now being retracted. And then shortly we should hear that the first 6 hooks will begin to drive in for that hard capture.
And here we are getting live views inside Dragon. You can see that the crew has removed their suits and are in their blue flight suits awaiting hatch opening. At the top of your screen, you can see NASA astronaut Jeanette Epps. And down toward the bottom of the screen, on the left side, we have NASA astronaut Michael Barratt, and to his right, we have NASA astronaut Matthew Dominick, and we can also see Roscosmos cosmonaut Alexander Grebenkin. Following a docking earlier this morning at 1:28 a.m. Central, 2:28 a.m. Eastern Time, we have worked through the hatch opening procedures, including the vestibule pressurization. And now we are standing by for Crew-8 to come aboard.
Copy, hatch open.
And now you are seeing a live view inside the Dragon Endeavour spacecraft. You can see the SpaceX suits that the Crew-8 crew members were wearing for the docking operations, as well as for launch on Sunday, March 3rd. And there we can see Crew-8 being joyfully welcomed aboard the International Space Station. First aboard was NASA astronaut Matthew Dominick, followed behind him NASA astronaut Michael Barratt and NASA astronaut Jeanette Epps. And pulling up the end, we have Roscosmos cosmonaut Alexander Grebenkin. The Crew-8 astronauts now officially a part of Expedition 70, and the other Expedition 70 crew members giving them hugs and handshakes as they make their way onto the International Space Station, which will be their home for the next 6 months as they conduct important science and research.
Excellent. A big warm welcome to Crew-8 from all of us up here. Wouldn't you know it, after having made fun of Crew-8 for launching late, they arrive early to the space station and have us scrambling this morning. But it's absolutely fantastic to see their smiling faces. Welcome to space, Matt, Jeanette, and Alex, and welcome back to space to Mike. This is also for Crew 7 a slightly bittersweet moment, because with their arrival, it also starts the countdown to our own departure and return to Earth in about a week's time. But it's great to see Crew-8. Welcome. You guys are going to have a fantastic mission. I'm sure of it. And we look forward to spending the next week in space with you. And for Laurel, Oleg, and Nikolai, there you are. A few more weeks. But welcome to you, and I'll pass the mic to you, Matt.
Thank you so much. We are, of course, super excited to be here, and after we saw you call us out yesterday, we phoned a few friends to expedite things to kind of throw you off guard on purpose. Or so we hope, or wished. Anyway, we're so excited to be here. Big thank you to everyone who helped put this together, such a giant team around the world. And we're excited to be on board and ready to take over the watch. Over to you, Mike.
Well, first thing is just great to be back. There's such a sense of familiarity and homeness to the station. And can't wait to get back to work. But just a big shout out to all the folks who got us up here to NASA, our friends at SpaceX for building a great little spaceship, and a little taste of the flexibility this morning that will be expecting over the next 6 months. I know that our flight's going to go by in a blink of an eye, and really anxious to start. Thanks for the very warm welcome from Crew 7.
I second everything that Matt and Mike has said, and I just want to thank my family as well for being patient with me, and I made it here.
Всем привет с орбиты. Ну что, мы добрались. Полет был достаточно легким, поэтому надеюсь, что и продолжение будет подобным. Всем спасибо и всем передаю большой привет. Thanks a lot, all teams.
Well, once again, welcome to the International Space Station. This is an incredible place. You will have a great time up here, just like we did. We are doing so much exciting science at the moment, and we look forward to introducing you to all of it. So once again, welcome, Crew-8.
All right, thanks, Station. For all of that, I can tell you on behalf of us that are left here on the planet, we are incredibly proud to be part of this, and we're all smiling down here. All right, Station, we are now resuming operational communications.